Jay Glazer, Fox Sports NFL insider, also the owner of Unbreakable Performance Centers. You obviously see him on Fox NFL Sunday. He is our story breaker, and he is joining us now live. All right, the Deshaun...
From 80-degree L.A. Hey, you guys were just talking about that? When I first moved to L.A. from New York, all my friends were like, man, you're not going to be able to handle it out there. You're going to miss the seasons. I'm like, I got the Travel Channel. I'm good. I'll take my 80 degrees.
Travel, I like that. So, listen, Deshaun Watson, and, you read the stories, it's forcing a trade. The Jets they got all the first-round picks from the Jamal Adams deal. They could give him 4. Do you think he forces his way out of Houston? What are you hearing, Jay?
Why are you only bringing up the Jets? If I'm Urban, I do it. He's a known commodity. You're not sure with as much as we think Trevor Lawrence and probably will be a stud and Fields, and you don't know. You just don't know. There's been so many other busts that we've seen it. Number 1 pick, number 2 pick. You know what Deshaun is. You know what it is on the field and off the field. If I'm the first pick, the second pick, the third pick, whatever it is, if I have a chance to get Deshaun Watson, I'm sending whatever I have to get Deshaun Watson. And the problem that the Texans are in right now, listen, there's one thing, and I've seen different people say, well, you don't have to let somebody in on your decision-making process. The problem is, if you tell him you're going to let him in on the decision-making process, and then you don't, that's the issue. You don't have to. You don't have to have your quarterback. Belichick didn't go to Brady with anything. But if you tell them you're going to, and then you don't, then they feel lied to. That's where your issue is. But Deshaun Watson this is the type of guy you want, leading your team, leading your prayer service, marrying your daughter. Like, he is somebody you could really put everything on. So, yeah, if I'm another team, I do whatever it takes to get Deshaun Watson because you know the known commodity that you're getting. And for the Texans, how they make this right, I don't know, because they're trying to hire a head coach right now. And if whoever is going to even talk to them, they're going to want to know for sure that Deshaun Watson's the quarterback, but Deshaun's not really talking to them right now. So they're in a horrible position.
Urban Meyer, you talked to him recently. What's his biggest challenge going to be in Jacksonville?
Here's the biggest issue. And look, one thing I talked to, and Jimmy Johnson said on our show the other day, it is so different in the NFL and college. And part of it is you can't just threaten to pull someone's scholarship, but you're dealing with 53 different corporations inside that locker room. Not 53 men, but 53 different corporations. But I also said, hey, man, the way you talk to these guys, you've got to talk to them differently now than you did in college. And, go after how Pete Carroll did it. You got to love these guys up. You got to treat them like men. The reason why Bobby Petrino, Nick Saban, they didn't work out. They almost got their butts kicked because they didn't treat them like men. Nick Saban, the reason why he didn't make it in the NFL, Dante Culpepper tried to fight him one day, and a security guy stepped in. And then I think his final straw is that he questioned Zach Thomas's toughness, and Zach almost kicked his butt. It just doesn't work on this level. And I know Urban's not one of those guys that kind of goes after you and tries to demean you. But I said, just make sure you don't do any of that on this level because it doesn't work on this level. You're dealing with grown men who are a corporation, but also it's different how they act than they do in college. When you go and say something like that to Zach Thomas, good chance that you're going to end up on the ground.
Yeah. Philadelphia, Josh McDaniel rumors everywhere. I'm reading stuff about power struggles and Jeffrey Lurie wants certain things done. And I think, man, this is toxic because most coaches, they'd like a little say in personnel. What's your gut feeling on who gets this gig?
Look, tomorrow, and I don't know if this is out, tomorrow I believe they're going to interview Dennis Allen for the Saints. They loved Mayo. They loved McDaniels. There's just, here's the issue also is if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know we look at situations and go, man, this place is toxic. There's only 32 of these jobs. That's it. And this is the dream for the reason why you coach is to become a head coach. That's your dream. It's what everybody dreams of. So we used to always look and say, oh, this person's not going to take this or they're not going to take that. It's only 32 of these things on the planet. The job, whoever they hire, the person needs to sell them on, I'll make it work with Carson and Jalen. I'll make it work in there. That's your job. And, you think that you would have this issue of in an Andy Reid locker room? No. Sean Payton locker room? No. Mike Tomlin locker room? No. They'll make it work. That's a coach it's his job to make it where these two quarterbacks can not only coexist, but help each other out.
So you broke the story on Drew Brees retiring. It was obviously kind of an ugly way to end your career, but I was saying it the other day, you kind of look like Big Ben and Brees at the end of your career. Brady's the outlier. That's how I remember Troy Aikman's last year. I can remember Brett Favre's last year. So Brees officially still retiring. Do you think he'll announce it soon?
I don't know when he's going to announce it, but he went out on the shield. Good for him. And the reason why also I wanted to point it out, because some people were upset. First of all, that's my job. My job is to break news, number one. Number two, some people are like, well, he should have done it. The reason why I wanted to point it out on our show is we were talking so much about Tom Brady, we were all forgetting that this is Drew Brees' last game in the Superdome. It was an afterthought, and it shouldn't have been an afterthought. What this guy did, he and Sean Payton, when they went down there to New Orleans, they changed that culture, but helped change that city, and that city that needed to get saved so much.
Yeah.
They were bigger than football. These guys were bigger than football for New Orleans. They were part of history.
Yeah, I totally agree. Mahomes, I'm crossing my fingers. I mean, listen, what's it?
Wait. Did you really bring up that they should move the game away from Mahomes to be? You really did?
Well, listen, when Tom Cruise broke his ankle, they delayed production on Mission Impossible. If Jay-Z gets a cold, you don't go to a backup. The Masters moved to November.
When I was at Fox this weekend, they didn't let us drink before we went on the air. Have they changed that rule?
Hey, I'm a radio guy. I just said I would do it. I didn't say.
First of all, and let me tell you, you're not going to move the game for Patrick Mahomes, because then every player after that's going to go, wait, what about me? Every coach can't do it, number one. Number two, look, the toe was probably more of an issue. And people were so up in arms the other day about this. Guys, if you look right here, okay, look where their hand is around his neck, around the artery. And people get so mad that I am talking about a concussion. They didn't believe it was a concussion. He was trying to get back in the game that day. And yeah, he got up wobbly and woozy. And because what happened was, watch, he gets that artery hit, just like you're getting choked out. We're trying to choke someone out in mixed martial arts. We're trying to get an artery, if you can see, here and here, okay? We're trying to get these two arteries. And shoot, your lights go out, the blood goes, and it doesn't go slowly. When you get choked out, it goes, here, and you're out, right? And then sometimes you start doing things you don't realize you're doing. You're grabbing a referee's leg or your teammate or whatever, and that's what they believe happened to him more so than a concussion. But now he's wobbly, he has to go through the concussion protocol. But man, it takes me, and again, you see it goes around and it hits that artery. It doesn't take a lot to put somebody out. So I expect him, and they expect him to pass the concussion protocol. I had one guy hit me up on Twitter, said, you're an MMA guy, you should know better. It takes 5 seconds to choke someone out. And this guy, I think, was an instructor somewhere. Well, you need to close your school, because it takes way less than 5 seconds to choke someone out. It takes us about a second and a half, 2 seconds to shoot. You really get it on, put someone out. But if you saw, he caught it around here, got that artery, and that's what they kind of thought was the issue with Patrick. That day, he was trying to argue with them to let him back in.
Wow.
But obviously the visual of it, he's stumbling all over. You can't let that happen. And, they're going to continue. I know it's a very sensitive subject. I'm giving you the facts that I have been told about it.
All right. Well, that's what you do. Jay Glazer, owner, Unbreakable Performance Center. And
where it doesn't take us 5 seconds to choke someone out.
There, that's right. Exactly. Good seeing you, man. All right.
Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna come drink with you next time before the show.
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting all this heat for this. All I'm saying is that's what I would do if I ran the NFL.
Listen, I agree with Jay. It's going to be a huge, massive snowball effect if you do that. But I also agree with you, because I don't want to watch that. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to, but we want to see Mahomes. This is entertainment at the end of the day. It's not fair.
That's why they put Super Bowls in warm weather cities, to elevate the best possible scenario for all these great players to play in 70 degrees, not 7. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.